Howls of despair, anguish, horror. This was the moment pro-choice protesters outside the Supreme Court learned the constitutional right to abortion is being struck down. The judgment didn't come as a surprise, but for these women, it's still a shock and an outrage. The impact of this ruling is immediate and is being felt where the legal battle first began, at the Pink House, as it's known, on a street corner in Jackson, Mississippi.
Roe was overturned yesterday. This is illegal. This is illegal and you're a lawbreaker.
Those arriving for an appointment are among the very last before the state's only remaining abortion clinic is forced to close. For the first time in 50 years, it will be nearly impossible to obtain a legal abortion here and in many states in the Deep South. Despite their victory, the vocal so-called pro-lifers say this is just the start.
We need to work in states like New York and Colorado and New Mexico, those places that have really liberal abortion laws, in California and whatnot. We need to be working there. But the states that have laws in place, whether they be trigger laws or they're just laws that are very limited and they're not upholding their own law, then Christians need to go there and help them uphold their own law. They have laws in place that need to be upheld.
For abortion rights, rise up! Rise up!
The state of New York is still what the governor calls a safe harbour for those seeking abortions. Thousands took to the streets there this weekend, expressing the view shared by the majority of Americans who, according to opinion polls, favour preserving their right to choose. 13 states, though, have trigger laws going into effect that will essentially ban the practice, including ones undertaken with medication. Abortion pills are involved in more than half of US abortions. Those facing restrictions in their home states may be forced to travel to another state to access those pills or use an address elsewhere, then have the package forwarded. But lawmakers might take action to prevent this.
I would expect to see state legislators passing, for first of all, bans. Second of all, attempts to bar medication abortion, sending pills through the mail, attempts to bar people from traveling to other states, maybe even attempts to reach out beyond their borders and punish people who aid and abet abortions in other states, but on people that are residents in their states. I think it's really the Wild West of abortion restrictions, and we're going to see a lot more of them.
President Joe Biden says his focus is ensuring people are able to cross state lines to get public health services, and that his administration will defend that bedrock right. Yet the poorest and most vulnerable in society won't necessarily have that privilege. It means abortions that aren't permitted in these now empty clinics could be driven back underground. Benji Hyer, CGTN, Washington, D.C.